Hello everyone from Bodrum. This is a joint broadcast by Go Türkiye and Tav Passport. Today I'm going to welcome two guests, actually two expats living in Turkey. They're already in Bodrum. I will take them to Tav Primeclass Lounge at Milas Bodrum Airport and treat them some Turkish coffee, maybe some Turkish dessert, so that we can talk about their wonderful Turkey memories. Buckle up, it's coming up now. So here we are at Tav Primeclass Lounge at Milas Bodrum Airport. Today I have two precious guests. One of them is a real beauty, German actress, my dear friend Wilma Elles. And the other one is a hotel guru, a real gentleman, Elles and Crook, the general manager of the Peninsula Istanbul. So hello, welcome to the airport.
Thank you,
Thank
good
you
to be
for
here.
having us.
So thank you very much for coming. I'm so happy to have you here. So I think you were already in Bodrum, right?
Exactly.
Yes,
So how was everything in Bodrum?
always magical to be here.
Bodrum is spectacular.
We will go to that detail, I will ask you everything about your experience in Bodrum, but first I want to listen to your story about Turkey. So Wilma, let's start with you. You've been living in Turkey for a long time, but can you tell us how everything started?
Yes, so actually many years ago I came here for a movie, just for a movie shoot. It was at the Black Sea, it was a dream, and then they told me soon you will get offers from TV series, and I didn't believe them. But then 2 years later somebody recommended me and I got the offer to play in Öyle Bir Gece Zamanki in 2010. And I did 120 episodes. It was just a wonderful time. And after that, I kept, working in Turkey, TV series, movies, many things, and it nurtured me always. So I'm still here, and I'm enjoying it very much.
So it has been how many years?
12 years. I mean, the last 2 years, I was 1.5 years in Berlin and then 1.5 years in Washington, D.C. But then I decided to come back to Turkey because, it's just, I love it so much. And it fits to my character, it fits to me so well. So I came back here and enjoy it. Because it's so central and it makes my life much easier because I travel a lot all the time, so I need a short way. So Istanbul is the perfect turning point to go to places in Europe. Then I was in Dubai or even America. It's far, but if you live in America, everything is far. So Turkey is a really good base.
In terms of location, it's close to everywhere in the middle of Asia, Europe, Middle East.
Exactly.
So I think it's a great location for busy people like us, right? So we can travel everywhere easily.
Exactly.
Is that correct?
Exactly. And it's so beautiful. The climate is nice. The people are just wonderful, so helpful. And it makes life easier. Like in America, you need to put the gas yourself. Here, you have all these wonderful services, and the people are also just your neighbors are so helpful. Everybody is just so helpful. Even in school, the teachers, they take so much care of Milad and Melody. It's just wonderful.
I think it's all about people, right?
Yes.
When we are talking about Turkey. So how about you, Jonathan? What's your story?
Well, Arda, my story is a little more complicated. Well, not complicated. Actually, I've been here 5 months in Istanbul in Turkey, but my story started 17 years ago in Chicago, where I was working at the Peninsula at that time, and I met my wife, who happens to be Turkish and is from Izmir. So my romance for not only my wife, but for Turkey started at that time, and I never thought I'd actually come back here. I've traveled the world with Peninsula Hotels, and then as we're opening a new hotel on the Bosphorus in the heart of Karakoy in Istanbul, we decided to come and return home for my wife and to expose my 2 boys to this magical country.
So you're talking about 17 years of marriage. So then I assume you learned some Turkish as well.
Your assumption sadly is wrong, and my Turkish is very limited, but now of course I need to change that very much. Luckily my boys are learning Turkish in the school, and it's my turn next.
So what was the first thing when you arrived to Turkey? You know, this time you are more permanent,
Yes.
but like 17 years ago. So what was the first surprising thing for you about Turkey?
I mean, I've always known Turkey, coming to Izmir and Bodrum many times actually, and but it's refreshing to come to a country and to Turkey. The people are so hospitable, and this time, of course, we're moving our life, our possessions, and everything, and being able to settle in so easily because everybody is so welcoming. Luckily, my wife does speak Turkish. Even for myself, though, you can communicate, and everything is just easy and easy to arrange and organize, and people just want to help, which is sometimes refreshing if you travel the world nowadays.
So any memories about any little surprising thing about Turkey when you come first time, like about Istanbul or Bodrum or any place, or about any custom that we have, maybe?
Istanbul again, my first time living there, being in such a large metropolis, from the new airport, of course, was spectacular, and then just learning the city, how easy it is to get around. I'm truly impressed by the infrastructure, by the metro system, the transportation systems, the cuisine, the variety in the restaurants which are available, and then just this vibrant mix of West and East and everything which comes into it, and the clash of cultures. And I think Istanbul is it, right? And there's nowhere else in the world which has that blend. And frankly, that's because of being Europe and Asia together.
Exactly. So how about you, Wilma?
No, when I listened to you, I was so going back into the memories I had when you experienced the city at the beginning, and you take time to enjoy the beauty of the city, because nowadays sometimes I say to myself, I work so much and I drive by and I hurry to my appointments and to my shootings, and then I need time to enjoy the restaurants, the dining, the beautiful places, and you also have beautiful nature. I was very surprised, just half an hour you drive and then you are in the most beautiful forest and have the viewing points over the sea. It's just amazing, and that was also the surprising thing for me, that you come to Istanbul and then I think, oh, this part of town looks like Paris, oh, this part of town looks like New York, this part of town looks like Berlin, or more like this place is like Ibiza beach, or it's really crazy how many different beautiful ambiences you have compact in one town, metropolis.
So do you hear the same comments from other people in other countries? Because you're an actress and you are keep traveling. You were just at the Cannes Festival, so you live in Berlin and Washington, D.C. So what kind of comments do you hear from people about Turkey, Wilma?
Yeah, Turkey is so loved. First of all, to go on holidays, of course, to enjoy the beauty of all these different landscapes. For example, Cappadocia is now so famous, and also Pamukkale is becoming more and more known to other people. And what I love in Turkey is that it's a very young population and there are so many opportunities. And for example, in Europe, it's all set and all the markets are occupied, kind of. And in Turkey, you have all these possibilities, especially for business people. It's just fantastic. You can move very quickly, and in a couple of weeks you can do these wonderful things like building the peninsula just in a couple of months, right?
Yes, we'll be opening in February next year.
It's a great location. We will come to that. So, but I would like to ask you also your experiences in Bodrum. So you are a big time lover of Istanbul, but since we are in Bodrum, let's talk about Bodrum. So Jonathan, you been to Bodrum before, or is this your first time?
No, I've been many times actually, because of my wife being from Izmir. This is an obvious location to end up going through Cheshire and all the beautiful towns on the way to here. And actually I've been lucky enough to have gone sailing out of Tugatres and doing part of the Blue Voyage, and there's nothing really quite as magical. And if you're blessed enough to have access to a boat and just stop at one of the little islands or inlets, and there's a little restaurant and you eat the most superb fish dish ever, just simply grilled, right? And fresh vegetables, everything especially on the cuisine. I mean, and we'll talk about it later, but just everything feels fresh. Even in Istanbul, you go to the markets, you feel you're buying something which is rarer in some parts of the world, even now. But Bodrum is just it's just magical. And then the sunsets and the town, and again the Turkish hospitality which supports it, is something quite.
Where you can find 5-star hotels, boutique hotels, nightclubs, bars, and the great restaurants, and of course in a beautiful coastline with lots of history. So how about you, Wilma? How do you feel about Bodrum? Is this your first time?
And I've been in Bodrum many times. I always come just for short trips, like 3 days, 4 days, 2 days even, but it's absolutely worth it. And I came here to a wonderful concert of Arda Sayıner in a beautiful hotel, and they got me with a helicopter here from the airport, and I oversaw all Bodrum. It's just I mean, magical is I think the perfect word. And then I did some trips on a boat. It's just wonderful. I definitely need to make time to enjoy it more, and yeah, I planned for this summer actually to do like a blue sea trip and to take time to see different islands, and to there's so much to discover.
Speaking of the boats, Bodrum is a great spot for scuba divers as well. So lots of hidden bays, undiscovered bays, where you can just go and do scuba diving, which I'm thinking to do.
Yeah,
I did it.
I'd
I
like
did
to
it.
do
Yeah,
that.
You did it?
I did it in Göcek. It was just wonderful, and you know, I think it's good that we talk about it because so much more people should enjoy it. But there are so many things to do. You can't get bored. So many offers.
So Jonathan, since you're a hotel guru, I call you a hotel guru with all those experiences that you had in your life. So how do you see the tourism potential of Bodrum?
Well, I think Bodrum is globally already on the map as a destination. Just it's not all about Bodrum, and you were just talking about Göcek, but it's all the bay. I mean, just flying in a few days ago, you just see all these bays and the mountains, and you can see how the Bodrum spread, but the potential, and not in an overcrowded sense, but just to carry on the growth of the area and the region is something which I think is untapped in some way. You know, Turkey offers so much, not just on this coastline, but right through to the east, and I think this sets the tone of the potential of tourism and the continued growth of it in the country.
So Wilma was saying that Turkey is a great country to do investments. So how about in terms of tourism investment? How do you see Bodrum and this region, the coastline?
Bodrum is it's already globally recognized, and the potential of growth of whatever, it's already started anyway, but the future growth in the region and going south to Göcek and seeing, as you fly in and seeing the coastline and the potential growth of what it could offer for future investment from other hotel companies and villa developments. And obviously you don't want it to overdevelop, because obviously there's a catch-22 there, and you want to do it sustainably as well, which is very much a focus of Turkey as well. But I think we're tip of the needle with many more opportunities here.
How about your kids, Wilma? Do they like spending their time in Bodrum in Turkey?
They said they want to live in Bodrum. I was here with them like I think 3 weeks ago at a big event series in a beautiful hotel, and they said, "Mom, can we move here? It's so beautiful with the kids club." And I didn't need to worry about anything because they were taking care of them, doing many activities. So it was very easy for me as well.
What I love about Istanbul and Bodrum And Turkey generally is that sense of security and safety, which, I mean, if you come and live here and I have two teenage boys, so you want a feeling that they can go out into Istanbul, they can venture around Bodrum, and you don't really, you feel very safe and very welcome, as we mentioned, but you feel safe as well, so you know you can let your boys enjoy themselves like generations past, right? Which is also something to treasure nowadays as well.
And the kids are welcome everywhere. At the
Yes.
restaurants, at
Yes,
the
yes.
hotels.
Well, they're the star attraction for the family, aren't they? That's a Turkish part of the family culture.
Exactly, and they are so excited about their first flight alone, because I think when they are 7 years old they can do it. So now I started to teach them, to find everything. Of course, they will have somebody with them, but now they always talk about it. Mom, when can we do our first flight alone? Because they did so many flights already, and yeah, they're so sweet.
All kids are happy. So how about your kids? Did they like Istanbul so far?
Yes, they're settling in. They're loving the change and the from New York, and lived in New Jersey actually, so it's very different to Istanbul. And again, it's just this introduction to a new culture, hearing the minarets and the romance, and if you drive in, early morning, 8:39, and you come down off the hills into the Bosphorus, and it's all misty, and it's just fantastic, just spectacular. And we arrived in the middle of the winter. You had your huge snowfalls. Where I live in Zakarakoy, that means it shuts down anyway. But and then you just see this change into the spring, and the tulips, and the romance behind that, and obviously the importance to the country with the Ottoman heritage. And it just, that whole magic in the air. And there's something in the air, it's sort of, there's a real vibrancy in life. And as you were saying, there's a sense of opportunity, where in Europe, sometimes it's stifled, but here, like coming on vacation here, but also living here, you feel that you are making your destiny. And that's always a nice feeling to have.
I agree 100%.
Yeah.
So before we move on, I would like to treat you some traditional Turkish coffee. Shall we?
Yes, please.
All right.
Thank you.
So here's our
Thank you.
Turkish coffee in traditional Turkish coffee glasses. So do you like Turkish coffee?
Yes, definitely, and it's more a social activity. I wouldn't drink it alone, but
That's true. Yeah, and you actually get used to the taste, and you appreciate it more and more as you stay here and enjoy it. So thank you very much.
It's a very healthy too.
Exactly, that's what I just wanted to say. Everybody talks about the health benefits of Turkish coffee with the antioxidants. So
Exactly. It also helps you to lose weight. That's the other thing. And keeps you awake, of course.
also, yeah, I think the Mediterranean cuisine is the most healthy in the world. So if you want a long life, just stay in Bodrum and yeah, fish and vegetables. And there's this ketogenic diet, which everybody just loves at the moment. And I think that the Turkish cuisine is so similar to it, because you almost don't consume bread. Like, very healthy with a lot of oils, which are very good for your heart. And yeah, it's the best cuisine, and has the most varieties, I think, of the world. Like, every region has its own food.
As you know, Turkey has 7 different regions, and every region has its own cuisine. Very local, very traditional. And also in Bodrum, in the north, there's a small town, beautiful, historical, called Milas, which is very famous for its own olive oil. So I love olive oil. Do you guys?
Yes. very much
Yes,
so.
definitely. And I just not only put it over my food, I also put it in my hair and use it as a makeup. From olive oil, you have the best soaps, and it's just so magical.
So Wilma, if you like olive oil that much, you should definitely get a real original olive oil from Milas, which is also famous for its carpets and many other local products. So how about you, Jonathan? What do you like from Turkish cuisine?
Well, Turkish cuisine is, it's one of the global cuisines, right? And it's the best of everything from the Mediterranean, of course, the Aegean, and as you say, it has 7 regions throughout Turkey. It's a cuisine which deserves more respect and more. I think people should understand it and research it more and go out to the heart of Turkish cuisine, which is, you pronounced it earlier,
Gaziantep?
Gaziantep. I call it the kitchen of Turkey.
Yes.
If Turkey was a house, probably it will be the kitchen of it.
But what about Bolu? I think it's competing with Bolu. Definitely, I mean, every part of Turkey is a journey worth, because they always say when you just arrive at the airport, come here, you need to test this and this. Come here, you need to try this and this. So it's always an adventure.
In fact, I did a tasting of baklava and had it flown in from Gaziantep.
Wow.
And did it against some other brands as such in Istanbul, and you can just taste. I mean, it's just made that morning or probably the night before, and it comes in, and it's just you can taste why it has such a reputation from baklava and obviously all the other cuisines which come off it. And of course, Turkish cuisine now is being recognized by the Michelin Guide Awards, which I think is very important and is well deserving of the cuisine.
Do you cook, Jonathan?
Not Turkish cuisine, but I cook a little bit. My wife is an excellent cook, so she does a good array of Turkish cuisine dishes as well.
So Wilma, do you cook any Turkish cuisine items at home?
Absolutely. Actually, I was cooking Turkish cuisine even before knowing it in Germany, because I love those very easy vegetable dishes which are so healthy, like taze fasulye or like the cauliflower dish or kuru fasulye. I think it's the best you can eat at home, because outside you get all these, sometimes very heavy food. And so I think I use my home for detoxing. And I'm happy because my kids love it as well.
So we are at Milas Bodrum Airport. So I love airports. I travel a lot as a journalist. So how about you? What does airport mean to you in your life?
Airports. I mean, I know obviously you travel loads more than me, but I do obviously travel a lot as well. But it's always, there's several meanings. So it's a sense of journey. It's always excitement. I've always been thrilled by the thought of travel and everything, and airports are the start of that. But also it's a meeting point. It's sort of where families come together. So it's very emotive, and anything which makes that experience more pleasurable, like sitting here in the Primeclass Lounge, it really helps sort of bring it together and make that journey more memorable. But there's nothing like waiting for a loved one at the airport, hopefully with some flowers in your hand and just waiting to come through that customs, through the immigration area, and just coming around that corner. That's always something which sticks in your mind.
So how about you, Wilma? What does airport mean to you?
Yes, I'm going to the airport like 3 times per week, I think, at least. For me, I spend so much time there, so I'm very thankful that there's a beautiful lounge and I can just feel secure and taken care of, because the airport with all the people from all over the world, sometimes it can be a little bit too much. So I really need this private space, and it makes me just so calm. And but I love to go on journeys, of course, to travel, and sometimes I said I live in planes. Like it's different when you travel a lot, then you start to put your habits, what you have at home, in the airplane. You saw me in the airplane. I was doing my makeup, I was changing my clothes.
Very professional.
So,
I can't compete.
So it's like a space I live in almost,
It means also freedom. What do you think? Because I don't consider
Yes.
airports as a part of a country or city. It's like more independent land where you can go everywhere in the world. So that's why it gives me a feeling of being free. What do you think, Jonathan?
Yes, I mean it is. It's a sense of, but the whole experience of travel is just sort of, you know you're going somewhere, you're in the airport lounge or you're just about to get on an aircraft. It's sort of the only, it's like you were talking about going on a blue voyage because you can escape, right? Those 12 hours on a plane or 2 hours, you're sort of like by yourself finally, because the world is a hectic place and you're sort of more or less away from technology and cell phones and things. So it's a time you can just, you have to decompose, and rest yourself. So it's that's part of the journey.
And I think not only TAV airports, also Turkish Airlines is doing a great job. The standards,
yes.
the
The best.
service,
The best.
all the hospitality is amazing.
Exactly. No, when I just enter the plane of Turkish Airlines, I take a long breath and I see all the beautiful uniforms that they have. It's just so important to keep up the standard, I think, and that's what Turkish Airlines does.
I think airports and the airlines where the hospitality starts before you arrive to any country.
Yes.
So speaking of traveling, how about other destinations in Turkey, except for Bodrum? What's your favorite, Jonathan?
My experience is limited. My wife is from Izmir, so just being around there and going down to Çeşme, or they had a house in Foça as well. And just, I think Turkey surprises you in many ways about all these small towns you find nestled into the coast or nestled in the hills. In fact, I drove from Istanbul to Bodrum on the incredible motorway system you have in this country now, which is world class. And 5 hours later you can be in Izmir, another hour you're in Orsoya and Bodrum. But just what's in between, and just the rolling hills and the greenery, you can see why there's such great dairy produce here, and understand why the cuisine is so strong. But so I'm looking forward to getting more Cappadocia and obviously all the signature destinations of the country.
So how about you, Wilma?
There are so many beautiful places in Turkey. I also love very much Ankara, the seriousness of it. Then Çeşme, Izmir, Antalya, so international, like with all the conferences which are going on there. I think it's a very inspiring area also to live in. Like people coming from all over the world, and then I love Pamukkale. It's just a dream to go there with the wide, areas, and then Cappadocia, of course.
Have you ever taken the hot balloon tour in Cappadocia?
Yes. It's so amazing. I could go there every winter, to stay in those stone houses with a fireplace and so many places. And I love also that Turkey is now focusing, like what concerns travel, is that there are so many historical places. Like when I go to Paris and I see that they celebrate this Arc de Triomphe, for example, and then I ask myself, hey, but in Turkey you have 15 of those and they are just standing there, but now the people really take care of it and really appreciate it. And I love it that you talked about Milas, like all these historical places which now the people really need to see, because it has a special energy also. And there's a reason why there were big things happening in those historical places. You just need to go there and feel it, and you can add up to your aura and to your life experience.
So by the way, tourists are not coming to Turkey just to spend their summertime. They're coming also for health-related issues, because Turkey is a huge destination for health tourism. I'm sure you heard some little stories about that too, Wilma.
Yes, I organized already trips for my American friends to Turkey for like some knee operation or like the teeth, or a German friend just opened a hair clinic with Turkish doctors in Germany. So this is all happening, and also the system is very fast. Like in other countries, sometimes you have waiting times of several hours when you go to a Turkish hospital. it's just 5-10 minutes, and you get the consultation you need.
Yeah, so they come to Turkey to get the treatment, and also they can spend their vacation
enjoy the
here.
time.
It's a win-win. Expert doctors and affordable prices and great hospitality. What else you want? So how about Tav Primeclass Lounge? How did you find it, Jonathan?
It's very comfortable. I know it's been newly renovated, and I can see that and feel that. And it's an oasis within the airport environment, which is extremely important. As you refer to, it can be extremely busy, especially in Bodrum, and now in the summertime. So you need somewhere where you can be a little more pampered and looked after. So they're doing an exceptional job here in everything they're doing.
So how about you, Wilma? What do you think of Tav Primeclass?
It's very refreshing. It's just very new decoration, beautiful, and it makes life much easier with the fast track. And then you come here, you see smiling faces and all the tea assortment you have, great food, and you think about maybe next time I come 15 minutes earlier to enjoy it more, because just gets you ready for the flight.
So since you like it so much, I would love to give you a little gift of Tav passport cards. With this card, you can use all Tav Primeclass lounges all around the world, use the fast track, lounges, and even organize a transportation. So here's your card.
Thank you very much.
much.
Appreciate it.
Thank you so
Beautiful.
much. Thank you.
Thank you.
With this card, you can enjoy every single Tav Primeclass lounges all around the world. Use the fast track, use the lounges, organize your transportation, all VIP services available. So Wilma, how about Turkish series? As you know, is another tool to promote Turkey. Being an actress, how do you feel about that?
Yes, I'm so blessed and so thankful that I'm in this market and I'm doing really what I want in my life, and I have the opportunity to work with wonderful directors, actors. It's my dream coming true. And then actually when I was living in Washington DC and spending much time in Los Angeles, I realized how big the Turkish TV series really are, because there are people like on Hollywood Boulevard, they recognize me, or like in Washington at the Ballo, somebody came from Argentina and recognized me, or like it's crazy, like they watch it in so many countries now.
So imagine Turkey is the second biggest exporter of series in the world after United States.
It's amazing. You really, there are so many people now from Europe, they want to come to Turkey and shoot here and they are so beloved. They are not only sold and watched, they are very beloved Turkish TV series, and then the people want to buy the same furniture and adapt the lifestyle. So I think it's the biggest soft power Turkey has, I think, the TV market.
Lots of tourists just coming for that reason, to be in the same spot where they were filming those Turkish series. That's the other thing, especially in Istanbul, Cappadocia, and even in Bodrum, it's quite popular. So dear Wilma, dear Jonathan, thank you very much for being my guest at Tav Primeclass Lounge. It was so great to have you.
No, thank you so much. It was absolutely wonderful.
Thank you for having us.
You're welcome. So that's all for the week. We will meet again with our new guest at Milas Bodrum Airport, Tav Primeclass Lounge. Please follow us on Go Türkiye and Tav Passport social media accounts. And don't forget to watch the other episodes of Love of Türkiye. See you soon.